Hello, everybody. Welcome to another daily dose of gaming news and all that good stuff. And as always, I publish on Rumble and also on Patreon for extra support. Any kind of updates and the such usually go about on Twitter X. And later today we'll have Midnight Suns episode. Again, having a blast with this game. 6 episodes per week, Monday through Saturday. And yeah, just a quick reminder that I already have some completed gameplay series already. The 1080p are the older ones from 5 years and beyond, and then the most recent ones in the last year or so are 4K. Um, let's go to the news. I don't have any updates to give here on the channel. Similarly, yesterday late night, at least on my time zone, got the news that Annapurna Interactive entire team reportedly resigned here. Similarly, is there were negotiations between Nathan and Gary, which the president of the publishing side of Annapurna Interactive, and the Annapurna owner, Megan Allison. Supposedly, they were seeing if it was possible for Annapurna Interactive to be a different entity altogether from the remaining branch of Annapurna companies there. And similarly, this fell through, this kind of negotiations. And yeah, Nathan, Gary, and everybody else that was working there just resigned there. Um, Again, we don't know exactly the conditions of this kind of negotiation and the consequences if this negotiation went through. What what the parameters of working in the Perma Interactive. I'm not sure exactly. We don't have from the reporting side of things. I tried to check other sites there. They don't have any extra information. Again, if this is something coming out of nowhere, basically. Um, but yeah, we need more information. I think we will get something in the upcoming weeks. Maybe we can get more details of what this was about here, and maybe some reasoning why the president of Annapurna Interactive and the entire staff just resigned there. Uh, my assumption is, again, the owner, Megan Allison, didn't want at the end to get this well recognized Annapurna Interactive branch of the business to be its own thing independently of Annapurna. Given that the branch from the media side of things, films and TVs and animation, they have been doing I think overall, from my perception, they've been doing a great job, even on the gaming side of things. They've been doing a great job in the sense that they've been publishing indie movies. I think also they recently made a deal with Remedy for Alan Wake's for their own IPs to do some series and animations or something like that, from what I understand. Um, yeah, it's a little bit weird that this happened. I didn't even know that they were thinking about this, trying to get their own separate side of the business there. I will assume it was not a liability in terms of financial for them to even consider to be a completely different entity, because I will assume if one of the branches is getting, I don't know, not making enough money, might be a liability for the rest of the company. I don't know. But we need more information regarding this. The the owner, Megan Allison, confirmed that at this moment in time, the immediate priority is to continue supporting the developers and publishing partners during this transition. They brought a month ago or something like that Hector Sanchez, which is one of the publishers' co-founders. So I will assume he helped to found an Annapurna Interactive branch of the business there. Was brought back last month. Reportedly told developers that all contracts will be honored and the staff will be replaced inside Annapurna Interactive. Yeah, they got great games that came out recently, from Stray, Cocoon, Outer Wilds, and also What Remains of Edith Finch, and again many others to name too. Yeah, we'll have to wait for more information. That's for sure. To see what happened there. Maybe we can get some reasonings and what was the point of these negotiations here for starters? Because I don't know why they would think this would be a good idea. I'm not sure, so I can only speculate, but I'm not very much on speculating business. But yeah, but to continue with some not good news, again, Microsoft Gaming will cut around 650 jobs from the gaming division, even though supposedly this is going to be mostly, again, the keyword is mostly corporate and supporting functions. Again, this comes after the post acquisition structuring thing there. I will assume it's like HR or something like that, or like the office kind of a deal there, not something that it's directly for developers. It's not going to affect directly the developers' teams, it seems. But we already have that with almost 2,000 employees going out of business there. Yeah, it will continue. This will continue because Xbox or Microsoft Gaming, um, again, $70 billion of acquisitions, even though they got some injection of revenue from, again, the IPs that they bought, and the fact that the revenue that came from there will not be able to justify the, at this moment in time, the $70 billion acquisition of Activision Blizzard. You will see more restructuring, let's say, from the part of Microsoft Gaming side of the business there in the upcoming years for sure. They don't even the console part of things. It's not selling at least on par, or to be. It's not being very competitive with PlayStation. We got the PlayStation 5 Pro announced coming November. Xbox, I think they had some plans there, but they pass on of having an upgrade on the current generation of consoles. Again, I'm not sure how they're going to navigate this, because $70 billion, it's a lot of money to justify, at least from the gaming part of things from Microsoft, given that they were not, the gaming part was not a huge weight in terms of financial part of the business. Now it is, because it's $70 billion out of nowhere. We'll have to wait and see if probably they will shut down a couple more studios here and there to try to justify um, their acquisition. I think it's a little bit to try and get some IPs. But yeah, at this moment, it's not being reflected on launching games. The only thing that they are going to launch from this acquisition is going to be at least Call of Duty. We already have Senua Saga. Diablo is doing their thing. Again, I'm not sure what they're trying to do here. Uh, Overwatch is whatever. Activision Blizzard have to cancel one project at least, so yeah, not good. But we will see a little bit more of this happening, especially on Microsoft Gaming part of the company there. I don't see any other way, because they are not. Uh, I don't think they are justifying launching games in a pace that will get them revenue and justify this acquisition in the larger picture of the business there. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see what it's going to happen there. In better news, we got Nightingale. They launched a new update, which is Realms Rebuilt. It's out now. Again, this game is on early access. I've got a new trailer. Seems interesting. I'm hopeful about this game, given it is a PVE, even though you can play it solo or with friends. Even though it's a little bit of survival crafting game, the setting and the setup of the game seem pretty interesting of what you can do there. And they basically launched this new update, which adds they basically remodel the introduction on the part of the campaign, so to introduce you to the elements of the gameplay side of things. They revamped a little bit. Again, they are taking a lot of feedback in account, and again, launching updates to reflect that feedback that they've been having there. And the game seems to be increasing little by little, a little bit in terms of positive feedback. Yeah, seems pretty good. Let's see how it goes regarding the full release. But yeah, this update includes supposedly parametric graphic system so that players can maximize the potential of their equipment, new dungeons and pods, so that they can test and experiment with their realm walker skills as well as expensive crafting. Um, I saw on the video there, this video, the the base building things there. I think it's more simplified and streamlined, even on the combat and the tools that you can use and all that jazz. I think it's a little bit more streamlined. I think they introduced a radio wheel for tools and consumables. Yeah, I think they are doing so far a good effort there on improving the game. I don't think there is a launch date for the full version yet, even though I think at the time on February I think said that they will keep it at least early access around 1 year. At least seems the plan for that. But I'm not exactly sure about that. We'll see how it goes. Again, I never recommend early access. I try to keep tabs on the ones that interest me, and this is one of those. Um, as soon as I have more news about this game, I will let you know. But yeah, check the trailer. Seems pretty enticing here. And again, this is update for the version 0.5, so we still have a long way to release version 1.0. On other games, we got Cyberpunk was patched with the version 2.14. Basically, focus a lot more on FSR free with frame generation. I think it also introduced the XESS 1.3 support. Hopefully, there are not going to be any kind of disruption on the mod part of things there. At least it doesn't seem so. I checked the patch notes. It's very short thing. It's basically the FSR free with frame generation, XESS, the upscaling from Intel, and some quality of life stuff there in terms of bugs and fixes. I don't think it's going to interfere in basically any kind of mods, but yeah, pay attention on that. Again, nothing huge out of the ordinary. And again, anything regarding frame generations, if you think about using it, again, to use and be this kind of scenarios on frame generation, I think the baseline in terms of frames per second for you to activate this has to be around 60 frames, or else it's going to be a disaster in terms of visual tearings, artifacts, and frame pacing issues. Can be noticeable if you're activating this function below 60 frames. Uh, so it is what it is. But yeah, other than that, doesn't seem to have anything like big, because again, they already said basically since the last the DLC Phantom Liberty, yeah, Phantom Liberty. It was basically the last big update. I will assume they will continue to support the game in a very low key on fixing some bugs here and there. But other than that, I don't see anything huge coming out of Cyberpunk 2027 except for the next game there. But I'm not that hopeful on the next games that CD Projekt Red is going to be launching. But yeah, other things here. We got Star Wars Jedi Survivor after a year and a half. Uh, Finally decides to remove the Novo DRM, and in this patch, it's been a while since the last patch, is supposedly introduces performance and ray tracing improvements there. Again, I don't know, I already wrapped up my series on Jedi Survivor and I already uninstalled the game, so I cannot do kind of a comparison there. But supposedly this patch focus on performance and quality of life improvements, improving frame rate improvements for various hardware configurations, and fixes several sources of frame rate itching. Yeah, we got issues here and there on the game. For sure, it will be noticeable on the footage there, even on the thing. Sometimes when you pan out the camera, you got that a lot of issues sometimes with resolving like artifacts. I think it's artifacts there. But yeah, supposedly optimizing game file stuff, which one of the things that happen a lot every time you launch the game. It's always does this thing of optimizing game files, which is very generic. You're not sure what the game is trying to do there, but supposedly it's fixed or improved. Um, and supposedly also mouse and keyboard functionality. I don't know. I used the controller to play that game. Being that the main thing I think is going to uplift the performance is removing DRM. Uh, I will assume this game will eventually come to GOG, given that GOG doesn't accept DRM. So I will assume now, soon enough, we will see this on GOG. But yeah, supposedly it will get a little bit uplift in terms of performance. But hopefully somebody makes a video trying to check the differences. Maybe Digital Foundry can go about and see that frame rate pacing stuff there, and the frame rate itching and all that jazz. Maybe they can get an analysis there, see what kind of improvements we can see there with this latest patch. Then we got also Assassin's Creed Shadows, launch another trailer world. Again, the first thing here, I noticed some animation shenanigans happening right in the first, not even 20 seconds. I think we got this um, black gay samurai guy riding a horse. The animation of the horse is completely janky. It doesn't. It seems Skyrimish in the sense. It's a very weird animation on the legs of the or the hooves of the horse there. Again, I'm not sure regarding because it's focused on the world, so they go about the seasons a little bit here and there. I don't know how accurate the seasons are. The last time that we covered this in terms of seasons, they're all over the place. They don't correspond with for example, the cherry blossoms. They supposedly happen on a particular time of the year in the season wise, and they were mixing and matching, trying to mix and match to make it more beautiful with a different time of the year. Again, it's all over the place. I will assume this is not the correct part here on the seasons kind of a thing there. It shows a little bit of architecture also. Again, it's just trying to, and even the graphic wise, people are telling this is the best Assassin's Creed in some visually. It again, I don't see that very even at 4K doesn't seem good. But yeah, they launched another trailer. They're being very quiet lately. No words, no nothing. Just trying to use a lot of wide shots on the world, some close-ups here and there, but no talking, no nothing. Um, yeah, this game is going to be a shit show, and they are doubling down on stupid regarding Ubisoft regarding all their IPs and how the inner workings of the company there. But yeah, lastly, I caught up this one 50 minutes. I forgot to bring this up yesterday. Crimson Desert, 50 minutes of early gameplay. Um, the first time I saw this was from IGN. This is from the developer here. It's the same video. Again, this game it's promising, but even from these 15 minutes, there are some issues that I think they can be patched out. Um, Again, combat, I'm still not sure. Combat is one of those things that you need to try out and have a feel for it to see if it looks good. Um, but yeah, the combat, it's all a little bit more action oriented. It's not that like, for example, from software combat that we are used to. It's not the same thing, but still very interesting in terms of visual quality. I think this game is trying to overdo a little bit particle effects in the overall sense of things, even on combat. Seems to be a little bit busy mainly because of the particle effects there. I think there's a better way of trying to invoke what you're doing in the combat without huge amounts of particle effects. We saw some more mechanics here and there, the flying mechanic or the glide mechanic. Very interesting in terms of navigating around the world. What else did we see there? Some exploration, some dialogue. It's a little bit janky, the dialogue there. Even the not how the lines are introduced, and the voice acting seems fine. It's how everything is glued together seems a little bit janky, and in some instances a little bit off-putting in terms of the animations while the characters are doing the dialogue between them, between each other. And even the dialogue is, it's a little bit janky. It's the best description that I can give at this moment. Hopefully they are, the latest from Gamescom is they are expecting feedback from people that are experiencing the game, and to get that feedback and try to introduce that feedback on the game itself, because there is no launch date for this game. But at least these 50 minutes of gameplay, it's gives us a better idea what this game is trying to do. Again, there are some good ideas there. We got the way that the quests seem to meld together. um, Seems okay. I don't have an issue with that. It's more about also we see a lot of pop-in here and there in more distant stuff. What else? In terms of interactions and the such, it seems okay. It's a little bit of the jankiness regarding the dialogue and how the characters interact with each other when they're talking. The combat seems it's different from software, at least that level of quality. You don't have. I think it's similar to Monster Hunter, that the fact you don't have a lock on the enemies. Again, I usually am used to lock on stuff, mainly because of Elden Ring, the way it's played. Um, but yeah, other than that, the visually overall seems the presentation seems pretty good. The boss battles seem pretty interesting. They're not the usual stuff that you usually see. But yeah, I do recommend checking these 50 minutes, because you can take a lot from this footage, and get a better opinion of what this game will do or not. We still don't have, for example, like the overall scheme of like how big the world might be. Even though after this part here, when you jump, you can have a sense that the world seems big. Oh, you got also horse riding and mounting. It seems from the menus, when they pause the menus, that you might have different rides for the horses, because I think there is a menu for horses itself. The menu navigation seems good enough. I think there are some stealth mechanics, in the sense that you can dress up, use different armor to blend better in the cities that you are in. Also, again, some interesting things that they are trying to do there, and hopefully it's only going to get better until the launch of this game, because this game it got my attention to check here. I don't know also if the days and the time of day and the temperature will have, how much influence will have on the gameplay side of things there. I still didn't figure out very well what this is here, this I don't know, flower, or I don't know what this is. It seems like a special ability, kind of a charge meter or something like that. But yeah, it seems interesting, at least something different. But yeah, I'll leave the YouTube link for this video here. So I'm going to wrap up with some gaming deals. We got Batman Arkham Collection. I got the bundle here, 85% off on the bundle. I already have the first two games. I didn't buy yet the Arkham Knight here. But yeah, everything's basically around about 85% off. We got Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, 80% off. Again, excellent reviews here. We got Atomic Heart, is still on the deal, 60% off basically on every edition. And if you're not sure if this game is for you, you got the demo there, which is always excellent. We got also No Man's Sky with the latest Aquarius Expedition update for the fishing mechanics and the recipes and all that jazz. Also, it's 60% off at this moment. And then you got also the Bookwalker, Thief of Tales. Very positive feedback from everybody. It's kind of turn-based, kind of isometric game here, and it's 50% off, which is always good to see. On GOG, we got Children of Morta Complete Edition, 71% off. Again, got all the playable DLC. Very interesting game. Isometric, roguelike, kind of a game here. Then we got a lot of PlayStation deals here. In terms of PlayStation, I'm only going to show off on GOG the ones that they are, because I know you don't need for sure any kind of online activation or any kind of online connection to play the game. So I will just show the ones that are on GOG. So we got Days Gone, 75% off. Seems a pretty good game. We got also God of War, 60% off. Then you got also Horizon Zero Dawn Complete Edition. And then finally we got Jagged Alliance. It's not part of PlayStation, but it's still on deal, 50% off. Again, old games that are on GOG don't have DRM, so no activation on online connection required to play. That's why I usually, especially from PlayStation publishing, I will, if I'm going to buy them, I'm going to buy them from GOG. I'm not going to take a chance for Steam, because on Steam they can change the way they did Helldivers 2. It was not something that you needed to have the PSN activation and linking, and all of a sudden they introduced that, and the game went for a shit show right there. Yeah, here you got you just buy the game, download the file from the game, install the game, you play it, and you don't even need to activate to open the GOG thing to play the game. It just runs everything offline, which is a good thing there. But yeah, I'm going to wrap up for today with a plug on my Patreon for extra support. This extra support is for me at this moment in time trying to get a better storage solution so I can have backups of stuff that I do for my clients, and of course some extra space for the videos that I do for the channel. And with all that said, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next one. So until then, Kunamy Master out.